Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to the Srimad Bhagavatam call. Today we are very fortunate. We have His Grace Vrindavan Vijay Prabhu from York, Pennsylvania. And Prabhuji is going to enlighten us from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 13, Verse 29. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Welcome to the call. You may take over the call when you're ready.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam to you and all the devotees on this call this morning. So, Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjan Shalakya Chakshurunimilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devai Gauruvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gauru Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jaya mudire. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavat seveya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंद गोप कुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः गोविंदाय नमो नमः गोविंदाय नमो नमः So today we are reading from Canto 7, Chapter 13, verse 29. So this is chapter is named as the behavior of a perfect person. So this is the first 10 verses of this chapter. The qualities of a sannyasi, they are described. So sannyasi, a perfect person, that's a beautifully named this chapter, the quality of a perfect person. 11 to 20, Prahlad Maharaj, he's meeting the Avadut Brahman and he inquires from him. Avadut Brahman, he appreciates, he glorifies, the position of Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj, and same thing, he recognizes the position of the Prahlad Maharaj. Same way, the Prahlad Maharaj is also recognizing the position of Avadut Brahman, how elevated he is. And then Prahlad Maharaj will be asking questions in next 11 verses from 24 to 34. And this Avadut Brahman, he'll be giving the amazing answers to all these beautiful questions or nice questions asked by Prahlad Maharaj. So we are in this section where Prahlad Maharaj, Avadut Brahman is answering the Prahlad Maharaj's questions. If we summarize this section from verse 24 to 34, we can say this is futility of material happiness. So this is what is being discussed, what is being explained in these verses is futility of material happiness. We'll understand a little bit more. So this is describing miseries caused by material activities. So it's a karma. Material activities is karma because they're all driven by, they are all motivated by sense gratification. That's why they are called karma. And greed and the lobha, the karma and the lobha. So all these fruity workers or karmis, so including me, we're all driven by kama, the material desires. When kama is not fulfilled, it becomes krodha, and the kama is fulfilled, then it becomes lobha, the greed and anger. And Bhagavad Gita has said that kama trividham narkasyedam dwaram nasnam atmanah kama krodhas tatha lobhas tasmad etat trayam tyajet. So these are the three royal gates to hell. So that's the background of this verse. Now we'll go to this verse. I'll read this verse. Jalam tad udbhavaischannam hitvagyo jal kamyaya mragtrashnam upadhave tathanyatrat swataha jalam tad udbhavaischannam हित्वाग्यो जल कामयया मृगतृष्णाम उपाधावे तथा अन्यतार्थदृक् स्वतः. So this is the translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Just as a deer, because of ignorance, cannot see the water within a well covered by grass, but runs after water elsewhere, the living entity covered by the material body does not see the happiness within himself, but runs after happiness in the material world. Manidhar Prabhu, can we share the verse? Or you want me to share the verse?
Yeah.
On the Zoom, so that devotees can see that what we are reading.
Can I make you presenter? I'm on the phone right now.
Yeah, sure.
You are the host now.
You can share. Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Can you see the verse now?
Yes, Prabhu, we can see.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
All right. So this is the verse on the screen. So you can follow with me. This is 7:13:29. So reading the translation. So just as a deer, because of ignorance, cannot see the water within a well covered by grass, but runs after water elsewhere, the living entity covered by the material body does not see the happiness within himself, but runs after happiness in the material world. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. This is an accurate example depicting how the living entity, to move it also, This is an accurate example depicting how the living entity, because of lack of knowledge, runs after happiness outside his own self. When one understands his real identity as a spiritual being, he can understand the supreme spiritual being, Krishna, and the real happiness exchanged between Krishna and oneself. It is very interesting to note how this verse points to the body's growth from spirit soul, from the spirit soul. The modern materialistic scientist thinks that life grows from matter, but actually the fact is that matter grows from life. The life or the spiritual soul is compared here into water, from which clumps of matter grow in the form of grass. One who is ignorant of scientific knowledge of the spirit soul does not look inside the body to find happiness in the soul. Instead, he goes outside to search for happiness. Such as a deer without knowledge of water beneath the grass goes out to the desert to find water. The Krishna consciousness movement is trying to remove the ignorance of misled human beings who are trying to find water outside the jurisdiction of life. Raso Vaisa, Raso Ham Apsu Kaunteya. The taste of water is Krishna. To quench one's thirst, one must taste water by association with Krishna. This is the Vedic injunction. Hare Krishna. So this is the beautiful verse, and this is an analogy given here to make the point. Jalam tad udbhavaischannam hitvagyo jal kamyaya mrak trashnam upadhave तथा अन्यतार्थ द्रक्स्वता. So jalam tad udbhavais channa. So as udbhavais is the grass and the vegetation which grows out of the water. So jalam tad udbhavai. Channam is hidden. So the water, when the grass grows out of water, if the water is there's a water body or a well where the grass grows out, then water is hidden. So hit wagyu jal kamya. So what a mrag? Mrag is can be any animal. Prabhupada has translated this as a deer. So mrag in Sanskrit is deer. So mrik trishna. So mrig or this deer is not able to see the water because water is hidden below, beneath the grass. So the deer is not able to see it. When the deer is not able to see it, so what is the hitwa? So it gives up that, and agyo, because of his ignorance, because of the deer's ignorance, is not able to see the water below the grass, but he's thirsty. The deer is thirsty, deer is desiring to drink water. So he upadhavet, he runs where anyatra. So he runs elsewhere for in search of the water, not knowing the water is just next to him, but is hidden below the grass. Same thing. So that's an analogy given. Like deer is not able to see the water below the grass. The living entity, we are covered by this body, the subtle body and the grass body. Because we are covered by this body, so we are not able to see the soul. We are not able to see the soul. We are not able to understand the nature of the soul. We are not able to see that our happiness and peace is inside us, not outside. So out of our ignorance, agya, out of our ignorance, we are searching for that happiness outside. So that is the meaning of this verse. So how the living entity is searching for that happiness outside us, not turning inwards, but going outwards because of the ignorance. We are not able to see we are not able to see and find the peace inside us. This beautiful story. There was a person once. He was jogging in the morning. So morning, like Some of us might be going for jogging. So we go in the morning to jogging in the community. So this person was jogging in the community, and he saw that one person was searching for something frantically in his courtyard, in his lawn. He was searching very frantically, very like desperate. He was searching for something. So this person, he passed by that, and he went back, continued his jogging, and after some time when he came back, going back home, he saw that this person is still continuing searching for something, and he was very desperate. His the expressions on his face was like of desperation. He was searching for something very, very, very frantically. So then, he went to that person, and he went to that person. He said, just the way we say in India, "Bhai Sahab, so do you need any help? Like, no, what are you looking for? Like, can I help you?" So the other person was searching, like, said, yeah, I'm searching for my wedding ring. Like, I've lost my wedding ring. And so I'm searching for it, like, so I have to find it before my wife comes, otherwise she's going to kill me. So this person said, yeah, I know, I understand what you're saying. I'm also married, like, so I'm also married, so I can understand what you're saying. But do you know where did you drop that ring? So I said, yeah, I think I dropped it inside the house. We dropped it inside the house. So why are you searching here? Outside the house. I dropped it inside the house, but there's no power in the house at this time. I just wish to search, so I just searching outside. So this is our story. This is what we are doing. So what would you say to this kind of person who has dropped the ring or lost the ring inside the house, but searching outside? If you give him some adjectives, you'll give him like it's very crazy or foolish, or he was all those kind of adjectives. But think about it. These all adjectives, they apply to us also. So this is what exactly is happening. The jiva, the living entity, is looking for that happiness outside himself, not turning inwards, not looking for inward to find that happiness. And that is the next verse talks about, because we are trying to find happiness outside us. We're trying to find this happiness. Our plans to find happiness, they are again and again continuously baffled by material nature, because this body is controlled by the material nature. So jiva, we are allured so much by Maya in our pleasure hunt. Like, so we are hunting for pleasure, we are hunting for happiness, we're hunting for specifically material happiness of this body. So we are not looking inwards, we're looking outwards, because because of our ignorance. So if you put your hand, if you are able to put your hand inside the pocket of our heart, of anyone, like now, most of the people, like now, you'll find what? Spouse, children, and assets. These are the three things. All these fruity workers or the karmis, these are the only three things they motivates them to what they do, whatever they do. The spouse means the spouse and relatives, children, and money. Money is assets, like now. So these are the only three things. People are after them. They believing that they can give them happiness. But again and again, we are failed in our endeavor or efforts to find the happiness, because they're all temporary. We are basing our hopes of happiness on something which is temporary, but we are eternal. We are not this body, we are the soul. Soul is eternal. So that's why our plans are continuously, again and again, they are not successful. So this is, they say in the, and we are all controlled by, we are trying to make this body happy. We are completely ignorant of the existence of our soul. What to say about the nature of the soul, what to say about super soul sitting next to the soul in our heart. So this is we are looking for. We think that this me and mine, this body is me and everything connected with this body, my relatives, my children, my spouse, my friends, my home, my bank balance, it is all mine. It is all mine, mine, mine. So we are trying to we are running after, we're chasing after this happiness, the false enjoyment, the false happiness of this body. But body itself is temporary, and that's why we are disappointed at the end. So this is, and this body is not controlled by us. So we are trying to make efforts for something which is not controlled by us, which is controlled by material nature. The body is going through its different stages. It's not controlled by us, but we're trying to satisfy our body, which is controlled by something else. And that's why we say we are again and again failing in our efforts like now. Or but still our our belief is so strong, so deep rooted, and we see around, we see this, okay, this is if so and so, our neighbors can be happy, our relatives so and so is happy doing this, so I can also be happy doing this. So as it is said, the young age, when we are young, we have time but no money, because this is how it is arranged by the nature. And middle age, we spend all our time, we have no time, we are busy in making money, and so that we can enjoy later. And when we have money in the old days, then we have no we can't enjoy, because we are always like in old age, our senses are not cooperating, so we are not able to enjoy in the old age. So we have this illusion. This is an illusion that we can be happy one day by satisfying the demands of this body, but we are not. But that's why it's called illusion, which is Maya. And we have this illusion that enjoyment is there, and we are soon going to become happy. But that time never comes, and we leave our body to move on to this cycle of birth and death, to sansar chakra. So there is the main concept here is like this is the material versus spiritual happiness. The material happiness or happiness of this body is temporary, is diminishing every what that means. And when you eat gulab jamun, right? So first gulab jamun you enjoy very much, and you go for second, you enjoy second gulab jamun, and then third and fourth and the fifth one you don't enjoy as much. Sixth, seventh, and eighth, like after eight, you just don't want to eat it. Like you may vomit it out. Like this is too much. I don't. So this is called diminishing happiness. But if you do the same activity again and again, material activity, next time you get less happiness. So the first gulab jamun was the most gave us the most happiness, most satisfaction. Second gave less, third gave even less, fourth gave even less. So it's a diminishing happiness. That's the nature of material happiness. So material happiness is temporary, it's diminishing, and it's limited. It's limited how much you can enjoy, how much you're limited by the body itself. Body itself is a limitation. Like whatever body you may be, every body has its own limitation. If you want, so it's limited. We are limited by our senses. We are limited by the capabilities of this body, what we can or what we can do, depending on what body we are in. So compared, this is what material happiness is. but the soul is eternal. Soul is eternal. Soul is not satisfied. Soul can never be satisfied, but this temporary, diminishing, and limited happiness. Soul is looking for eternal happiness. Soul is looking for eternal happiness because soul is eternal. The soul is eternal. Soul is looking for that eternal, continuously increasing. Anandam buddhi vardhanam. Anandam buddhi vardhanam. So in the spiritual world, spiritual pleasure is every time you do the same activity, the next time you get more pleasure than the first time. Third time you get the more pleasure even from the second time, and the fourth time get more pleasure. It's increasing, it's not diminishing, it's increasing. So that's called eternal. It's anandam buddhi vardhanam, is continuously increasing, and it's unlimited. There's no limit to it. Like there's no limit to it. So this is the nature of spiritual happiness. That is what a soul is looking for, that is spiritual happiness. But not knowing where to look for it, it's looking like this verse is saying, the deer is not, water is just next to him, but deer is not able to see that water, and is running elsewhere in the desert to find water, and continuously getting disappointed. So this is our plans to become happy, our plans to satisfy the demands of this body are continuously baffled by the material nature, because this body is controlled by the material nature. So why we don't understand this and remain in illusion? So question comes, okay, this is we are ISKCON devotees on this call, and we have heard what you are saying. This is not the first time. We have heard it 10 times or 50 times what you are saying. Then question comes, why after even hearing so many times, or why we still remain in illusion? Why we don't understand this and why still remain in illusion? Because Maya is Maya is external energy, Maya energy of the Lord. Maya covers our knowledge, and it covers our knowledge. We're not able to see inside. We're not able to see the soul inside. We're not able to see our happiness inside, but because we are covered by Maya. And how Maya covers? Maya has got its tools, its potencies. So there are potency of the Maya called Avarana Atmika potency. Avarana Atmika. Avarana Atmika potency. Avarana is cover. Atmika, to cover the soul. So this Maya, or external energy, or Bahiranga Shakti of the Lord, it covers our soul. It covers our soul. How it covers? By giving us this body. This body is given by the material nature, and it covers our soul by the covering of subtle body and covering of this gross body. This body itself is a covering. So this is called, so it's we are not able to see, we are not able to see and find happiness inside. Other potency of the Maya is prakshepatmika potency. Prakshepatmika potency. So to understand these, what is the avarnatmika and prakshepatmika potencies of illusory energy of the Maya Devi, suppose you see in the movie, like, for instance, we see in the movie that some goons or gundas, or they are trying to beat the hero in the movie. But hero is very strong and stout, so they cannot face him in one-to-one fight. So what they do, they hide themselves, and when the hero comes, they put a blanket on him. They put a blanket on him, and they start bashing him left and right, like, no. So the left start beating him, bashing him left and right, and this hero, our hero of the movie, is like covered by the blankets. He's not able to see anything. He's not able to see who's kicking, from where, which side, and he's not able to see anything. He's just only experiencing the pain of being beaten. So this is called Avaranatmika. It's a covering. So like he was covered by a blanket, so he's not able to see like why he's getting beaten or who's beating him. He's just experiencing the pain. This can understand. This is the one of the potencies of illusory energy. Avaranatmika. Avarana is covering. Atmika is to self. He covers the self. The second potency, prakshepatmika. So though see that actual beating, actual bashing and kicking of that hero is which is experienced by him as pain, that is called prakshepatmika potency. So Maya Devi, illusion energy, doing two things. One is like he is keeping us in dark, keeping us in ignorance, using his avaranatmika potency, and then giving us the kicks. Prabhupada says kicks of Maya. So kicks of Maya, we get continuously being kicked by Maya left and right in this world, and that is Maya Devi's potency called Prakshepatmika. Prakshepatmika potency. Using these two potencies to continuously, but we are still not able to continuously keeping us in ignorance, and also like kicking us so that and that's why we see our plans to enjoy from our body is continuously baffled by illusory energy of the Lord, and illusory energy working through these two main potencies. Like so, someone nicely said, "It's a jiva is looking for kiss of Maya." So jiva is we are looking for kiss of Maya, but getting only kicks of Maya. So we're not getting kisses from Maya, we're getting kicks of Maya. But you're always hoping that one day we'll get kiss of Maya, and we continuing searching for that happiness. So this is what's happening, as Prabhupada is saying in this purport. That's the jiva thinks that this object right outside of me can give me happiness. Jiva thinks, okay, this is the beautiful Tesla, top the line car, like and this can give me happiness. Or this is like, I've got such a wonderful children, they will give me happiness. My spouse will give me happiness. Or my bank balance, I've got like this is beautiful bank balance for my retirement is going to give me happiness. So Jiva is thinking that this object right outside of him can give him the happiness. The Jiva is running after to attain it. All these living entities. So this is there is a nice verse, like a nice verse comes in when the Karbhajan Muni in Srimad Bhagvatam. Karbhajan Muni was one of the Navayogendras. He's talking to Nimi Maharaj, he's instructing Nimi Maharaj. So he says how this we jiva, we are not realizing this life. We are not realizing. We're thinking like a spouse, children, money, man, pad, pratishtha is going to give us happiness, but we're not realizing we are being continuously kicked by Maya every day, every moment. So this Karbhajan, all this the great devotees, and the Lord comes Lord comes to help us like Lord, and that's Karbhajan Muni is talking this verse in Bhagavatam, 11th canto, verse 11.5.34. Tyaktva sudustya surepsitraj lakshmi dharmeshte arya vachasa yadga gadaranyam Maya mragam daitepsitam anvadhavad Vande Mahapurus te charanarvindam. Vande Mahapurus te charanarvindam. So Prabhupada writes in the purport of this verse, like this verse applies to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Vande Mahapurush, this Karbhajan Muni says, I I worship, I offer my obeisances to Mahapurush, Te Charanarvindam, who Tyaktva Sudastyaj. So this is who gave up what is very difficult to give up. Sudustyaj. Sudustyaj means very, very difficult to give up, like no. They gave up. And which is Surepsit. Surepsit, which is even desired by the demigod. Raj Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. So what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left Vishnu Priya as wife and he took sannyas. When he left, same thing as so Lord, this verse like this is basically applied Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Jiva Goswami says can be applied to Krishna also, and Sridhar Swami is saying it can be applied to Lord Rama also, because they are all left their royal opulence, like no, and went into the forest. And for what? So it's a dharmist aryavachsa, just because the words of a Brahmin, just to by the curse of a Brahmin, like to honor the words of a dharmist aryavachsa. So just to follow their duties and to just obey or to follow or to act by accepting the words of an Brahman. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there was a Brahmin in Nodweep. He was not allowed to enter the kirtans of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what he did, he cursed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You are never going to you'll never have this happy grahastha life. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy. Like he said, yeah, that's what I want. So thank you very much. He was very jubilant. He said, thank you very much. And you cursed me. I accept your curse. And that is when he took sannyas, when he was 24. So this is, and after taking sannyas, what he did? He went around. He went Yadgadaranyam. He went into the forest, means he traveled. He traveled to Vrindavan. He traveled to South India. He traveled like Lord Ram traveled to. He went to Vanvas. Lord Krishna also, he left Vrindavan. He went. He was away from Vrindavan for most of his life. So Maya Mrigam. So this is why they do that. Maya Mrigam, for us, for the living entities. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did for Daitepsitam. Daitepsitam. Dait is out of its compassion. Out of its compassion, for whom Maya Mrigam. Maya Mrigam means all these jivas who are ambitiously trying to become happy in this material world, trying to satisfy the demands of the body and become happy. Those who are chasing after this false material illusory enjoyment, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu out of which all this out of his daita is compassion, daya, compassion, he ran after them to save those living entities, so save those jivas. And I offer my obeisances to such Mahapurush. So this is Prabhupada says the dog is running on 4 legs and man is running on 4 wheels. There is no difference. There is no difference. Both are like, this is, both are running for what? Just for some sense gratification. So we think that you are more sophisticated, but there's no difference. This is ahar nidra bhay maithunam cha saman etat pashubir naranam dharmen hi eko adhiko vishesho dharmen hina pasubir samana. So there's no difference between us and a dog. The endeavor running after the false enjoyment is called asat trashna. It's called asat trashna, that which is not. Asat is that which is not worthy. Trishna is desire. Trishna is thirst. Trishna is like our thirst, or our desire for happiness, our longing for that happiness. Asat trashna. So we have this desire, we have this strong desire, we have this longing to become happy, to get material happiness. But it's asat. Asat means that's not worthy. That desire is not worthy. The material happiness is temporary. So Asat Trishna word is also used in Harinam Chintamani by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that these are four things when he explaining that four things which prevents the jiva from pure chanting. So it's Asat Trishna is one of them. Asat Trishna, and what is Asat Trishna for in our day-to-day life? Like this is, you see, Asat Trishna could be that we want to become happy by watching TV, watching movies, singing Bollywood songs, or just going for a cruise. All that is Asat Trishna. That somehow we going to we do so many things assuming that we can become happy. We can become happy. That is Asat Trishna, because that is not going to make you happy, right? The second, so that Asat Trishna is also like, no, this is will prevent you from chanting properly, chanting purely. Tattva Vibhrama. So second is Tattva Vibhrama. Tattva Vibhrama is like when we read so much of soft Shastras, like Tapan Mishra. Tapan Mishra was the associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he read all these different Shastras, all these different Shastras, but he was completely confused. He did not know what process to follow. What process to follow. So that's it called Tattva Vibhrama. So if we are not clear, we don't understand the tattva, we don't understand who am I, who's Lord, what is my relationship with the Lord. So we are confused about this tattva, then we'll not be able to chant properly. So that Tapan Mishra was confused on what process to follow, and then finally Chaitanya Mahaprabhu initiated him in the Hare Krishna mantra. He gave him the process. So Bahu Sastra, Bahu Vakya, Hoy Chitta Bhram. So we read a lot, different scriptures, different sastras. Sometimes we become more confused. Like so, the easiest way is to just follow Mahajana Yena Gata Sapantha. So follow our acharyas. So whatever we have been instructed, told, advised by our acharya, Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Maharaj, our Srila Prabhupada, and previous acharya. We just stick to that instead of just trying to explore like so that we get confused like now. Hridaya Daurbalyam. So third is Asat Trishna, Tattva Vibhrama, and Hridaya Daurbalyam. Hridaya Daurbalyam is also going to, if we have weak heart, weakness of our heart can also prevent us from pure chanting. Arjuna had that weakness of heart. It's a Tektva Hridaya Daurbalyam Utosto Nisht Parantapa, something that slok comes in first chapter or second chapter. So this is Arjuna had that weakness of heart. He knew what is right and what is wrong. He knew what, but he's not able to make a call. He's not able to take that call, whether to fight or not to fight. So he had that weakness of heart, Hridaya Daurbalyam. And Karna, Arjuna had only this show of Hridaya Daurbalyam, but Karna had a real weakness of heart. With Karna, he was on the side of Duryodhan. He knew, if he would have been on the side of Pandavas, he knew that what it would do, it would give pleasure to Krishna, because Krishna wanted it. And Duryodhan might have called off the war. If Duryodhan knew that Karna is not fighting from his side, he might have called off the war. And if the Karna was on the Pandava side, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he might have made Karna the king. But Karna knew all that, but Karna had that weakness of heart because he was too much attached with his Danveer quality. This is Danveer quality. The fourth is Aparad. So Aparad also, if we do commit offenses, that will also stop us from pure chanting. So what is so real pleasure? What is real pleasure? So we talked about this is all false pleasure. Like now anything we are looking outside us is just for bodily happiness. body is material. If we are trying to make this body happy, we'll never be successful. So this is, if we completely ignore our soul and we just trying to take care of this body, which is compared like polishing the case. Polishing, Prabhupada says that polishing the case, polishing civilization. We're not feeding the bird in the cage. We are just trying to keep keep the cage polished, like now. You made a nice golden cage and polish every day, clean it every day. But if you don't feed the bird is going to die. So this is what's happening like now. So we are trying to polish the case by just satisfying the needs or demands of this body. So we need to. So what? So when one understands the real identity, when one understands the real, Prabhupada, reading from purport, Prabhupada writes in the purport, when one understands his real identity as a spiritual being, he can understand the supreme spiritual being, Krishna. So first we have to understand our identity, and then we can understand Lord's identity, who's Lord, and what is our relationship with the Lord, and the real happiness exchanged between Krishna and oneself. That is what Prabhupada is writing. So what is the solution? Now we come to the solution. The solution part. Prabhupada is saying real happiness, or the happiness what the soul is looking for, or what a jiva is looking for, is exchanged between the Krishna and oneself. And what is the nature of that happiness? So Bhagavad Gita, it's genius of Prabhupada. In these 3 lines, he has summarize these 4 verses of Bhagavad Gita, so 620 to 623. So this is what is nature of this happiness? When we are connected with the Lord, when we are exchanging, when we exchange happiness, exchange between the Krishna and the Jiva, then what is the nature of that happiness? So it's Bhagavad Gita 620, 623. Yatro parmate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pashyan atmani tushyati sukham atyantakim yatad buddhigrayam atindriyam veti yatra na chaivayam sthitis chalati tatvatah yam labdva cha param labham manyate nadikam tata yasmin sthito na dukkena gurudapi vichalyate tam vidyat dukkha sanyoga vyogam yoga sangitam. So we have beautiful verses, and it says when why yatro uparmate chittam, the solution of this problem is because our mind is contaminated, our mind is polluted. The material contamination in the mind. That's why we are not seeing inward, we are seeing outward for happiness. We have to cleanse our mind. How to cleanse our mind? If we purify, it's like example is given. If there's a water body, and if you stir the water, you will not be able to see what is below the water. If you stir the water, you're not able to see what is below the water. But if the water is quiet, what is quiet still, then you can see what is below the water line. So same thing, our mind, when it is continuously, what is the job of a mind? Thinking, feeling, and willing, and continuously you have. Every jiva has so many desires. The mind is continuously thinking, going, this is good, this is bad. I want this, I don't want this, I want this, I don't want. Continuously mind is running. So it's like water being stirred. So then you're not able to see, what is below the water. So by the practice of yoga, yatro parmate chittam niruddham yoga sevya, by the yoga seva, by practicing this process of bhakti yoga, what you can do, you can stop that mind, make it still, and you can niruddha chittam is mind, niruddham yoga sevya, we can stop this mind, and the mind is still, when it is stopped, then it can see. Yatra chaivat manatmanam. Once the mind is stopped, it's purified of contamination, then what happens? Atmana Atman, it can see the self. It can see the self. And if it can see the self, it can see the inside. Pashyami Atmani Tushyati. And just by doing that, it becomes so happy. It becomes so blissful. The jiva becomes blissful, like when you start seeing inside. When you start serving when we see the soul, when we start serving the soul, like now, when we start satisfying the soul, become so happy. Pashyani Atmani Tushyati. With purified mind. So mind has to be purified. And mind is not purified. That's why we are looking for happiness outside us. When the mind is purified, then we'll be looking, we are able to see ourselves in the mirror. We are able to see, we are able to understand who am I, what is my relationship with the Lord, what is soul, what is super soul. And we are able to, and then once our mind is purified, we are able to see that. That's called self-realization. Then we become completely, perfectly blissful. Then we stop looking outside. We rise above the three gunas, like now. Then we are not attached with this material sense gratification or enjoyment. So that is the stage what this verse is talking about. And at that stage, what happened? Sukham atyantikam yattad. Buddhi grahyam atindriyam. The atindriyam is a beyond the senses, it's a spiritual pleasure. It's a spiritual pleasure. And sukham atyantikam, it's very highly condensed bliss, like Veti yatna chaivayam sthitis chalattat yam labdhva chaparam labham. And after once a jiva or someone attains that stage, yam labdhva chaparam labham. There's no aparam labha. There's no other better gain than that. Like that is the success of our life. Success of our life. There's no better. Yam labdva chaparam labham manyate na dhikam tata. There's no other gain more than that gain. There's no other labha more than that labha. Yam labdva chaparam labham manyate na dhikam tata. Yasmin sthito na dukkhena guruna vichalyata. Once you are at that stage, कितनी भी बड़ी समस्या आ जाए लाइफ में, गुरुड़ापी दुखेना, गुरुड़ापी बहुत वेरी हैवी दुखा, वेरी heavy, very adverse situation, still na vichalyate. That person, that jiva is not shaken. I mean, in midst of the greatest of the misery, like tam vidya, that what you know, viyogam dukh sanyogam. That is the process to viyoga, to get freedom from dukkha sanyogam. Dukkha sanyogam is the dukkha, the misery which appears or which comes due to contact with the material sense and material objects. And you can get freedom from that. Freedom from that by this, once we are at that stage, called yoga sangitam, by this yoga process, yoga sangitam. So this is the solution. The verse is talking about the problem, how we turn ourselves inwards by just controlling our mind, by purifying our mind, So that is, we need to understand our sambandha, abhidey and prayojan. Sambandha, who am I, what is my relationship with the Lord, and what is the process. Process is bhakti, and prayojan is go back to awaken our Krishna prem. So that is the prayojan. So covering jo hai, the jiva, our covering is anartha or ajnan. When we remove that covering, our soul is covered by this ajnan, this anarthas. So if we remove that covering, then jiva can turn inwards and becomes completely satisfied. We don't have to go outside to become happy. Once this ajnana, this covering, this anartha has removed, and which can be, we can see and remove it by purifying our mind. So this is how to remove that covering. Cheto darpana marjanam. Cheto darpana marjanam. So you can Cheto darpana marjanam bhava mahadavagni. So that Cheto darpana marjanam, by chanting the holy names of the Lord. So that Cheto, Teto, Darpan margin, and that margin is that purifies or clears or cleans our heart, cleans our mind cleans our consciousness. So this cleans our Chetana, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Then we can come to slowly, gradually we can come to that stage. So this is next, Prabhupada talks about the life comes from life. Life comes from life, not the life comes from matter. So this is the Prabhupada. Once what happened, like Prabhupada was in discussing there's some scientific discussion going on in Bhakti Vedanta Institute, and with the Swarup Damodar Maharaj and all those the more like scientist disciples of Prabhupada was there, and they were talking something like, now it's a very deep discussion was going on, and some devotees, like some young devotees, are sitting there and they did not understand what's going on. They say, Prabhupada, can we have kirtan? They say it's going too scientific, so can we have kirtan? Prabhupada, what is this? This is also kirtan. This is what we are doing, is also kirtan. So scientifically explaining the soul, the super soul, the Lord, our everything, that is also kirtan. So life, so we need to hear in this purport of this word, Prabhupada is saying that life, so it's talking about that the matter comes from not matter comes from life, not the other way around. So Prabhupada is saying matter grows from life, not other way around. It's not that life grows from matter. So what scientists they say life comes from chemicals. Life comes from chemicals. So there was a primordial soup. They're like mixture of so many highly concentrated things, and there was some asteroid. The asteroid came and struck that primordial soup, and the first living being, the first unicellular organism, amoeba came out like. So, but this theory, the one problem with this theory, that this is there's no explanation of who made this primordial soup, who made this asteroid, and who propelled that asteroid to come and strike that primordial soup. All that those questions they are not answered. Like, it's like something, if you bake a nice soup and invite me to come and have it to your home, and if I go and have that soup, and I just say, okay, I don't even thank you for nice soup. I just so yeah, it might have come from somewhere, but someone has there is some intelligence behind it. Who made this primordial soup? Who made that asteroid? Who propelled that asteroid to come and strike this? So life. So it's a life that, and we see in our day-to-day experience how the matter comes from life, not it's the other way around. It's not a life comes from matter. We have the trees and trees in the scientific community. They did not even know before 1940 that even trees are living beings. Like, now, this is before 1940, it was considered trees have no consciousness. But after 1940, they believe the trees are also living beings. And our Vedic literature has been saying that for Jalaja now Lakshani and Sthavara Lanch Vinshati. So we have in the Vedic literature that trees are living beings. And we see that we have orange trees, we have lemon trees, we have different types of trees. They give citric fruits, and the citric fruits have vitamin C. We see how the chemicals are coming from the matter. Matter is coming from life, no, so it's living beings. It's not that we don't see an example of where life is coming from matter. So all that there was a nice scientist did an experiment, they tried to imitate human anatomy, and they made a nice human body with saliva glands, esophagus, and they made some system to secrete bile juice, gastric juice, and all that. Like, they try to, as close as they can uh, uh, imitate the human anatomy or clone it. They wanted to, for the purpose of creating the blood. They wanted to create the blood, but their experiment failed miserably. And we see the system of the Lord, how we put the food. We put the food, how the body is designed by the Lord. We put the food in the mouth, and the blood is created, and waste chemicals, they are excreted. So body, all the any body, this body is a matter, and or any matter is going through the 6 stages, 6 changes, types of changes. This body is like birth, it growth, maintenance, stays there for some time, products, byproducts, the offsprings, like in case of human body, dwindling, and then we grow old, then we're dwindling, and then death, and finally death. So this is our womb, called womb to tomb journey. Like, so everyone gets old. Like, if you see like our your own 20 years old picture or 10 years old picture and compare with your current picture, you will see how we are getting old. The time is not stopping. Time is running by. Yes. Dehine asmin yatha deho kaumaryam yauvanam jara tatha dehantar praptir dhiras tatra namuyati. This is the most quoted verse by Prabhupada, 213. Like, this is Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantar praptir dhiras tatra namuyati. So this is, we are not this body. We are the soul inside this body. This body is growing old. Body aging. Like, but soul is not aging. Soul is eternal. Nothing happens to the soul. Soul is part and parcel of the Lord. Mamaivansho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. So what is in one of the verse like this is what is the real swartha of the jiva? So Prahlad Maharaj talking to Hiranyakashyap in the fifth chapter, this, I think it's the 31st verse. So what is our real swartha? What is the goal of life? What is our real swartha of a jiva? So this is the Prabhupada quote this verse very often. Nate vidu swart gatim hi Vishnu dhurashaya ye bahir arthamanina andha yathandhair upaniyamana iste te pishatantrayam urudham nibaddha. So nate vidu swart gatim hi Vishnu. So nate vidu, they don't know. Swarth gatim, what is their real swartha? What is their, they don't know that their real swartha, their real self-interest is he Vishnu. It's Vishnu. Vishnu, that is our real self-interest. That is our real swartha. And durashaya, because in the ambition of enjoying and ambition to attain this material enjoyment, for this ambition of sense gratification, due to that, they are ye bahira, the external objects, finding the happiness outside the external objects, arthmanina, they consider that as very valuable. It's a andha yathandair upiminiyamana. It's like blind is led by blind. Blind is being, when the blind person is led by another blind person, they both are going to fall in a ditch. So that is what's happening. He's in this, Prabhupada is writing in the translation, he's saying this is, in this word, this is what's happening. Even the disciple and guru, they both like, even the guru does not know, he's also trying to satisfy his sense, he's also involved in sense gratification. How he's going to impart, how he's going to teach this disciple what to do? They both are blind. So they both are blind there. So they are both going to go and fall into a ditch. So this is, and this is going to increase our bondage. Ishtantrayam. Ishtantrayam is the ropes of this our karma, ropes of cover. They are going to increase our baddha, our bondage, and we are going to take birth again and again. We are continuing in this cycle of birth and death again and again. So this is a blind leading the blind. Prabhupada says the goal of Krishna conscious movement is to connect with Krishna. So this is, he says the goal of the Krishna conscious movement is to remove this ignorance of misled human beings who are trying to find water outside the jurisdiction of life. So yes, to quench one's thirst, one must taste the water by association with Krishna. That's a key point. Association with Krishna. This is Vedic injunction. So this is, and the happiness we are trying to find. What is that? Rasa. Rasa is that real happiness. Nama Chintamani Krishna. Nama Chintamani Krishna. So Harinam, chanting of the Lord's name. That's the process. Cheto Darpan Marjanam. And we purify our mind. And then that may give us the happiness what we are looking for. So this is, and for that, Lord has taken Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar. So Kali Kale, in this age of Kali Yuga, Lord has taken incarnation as his holy name, So that we can directly get prema. Krishna knows that what shortcomings we have in this Kali Yuga, and we don't have, our life span is short. So for that, he has himself taken incarnation as his holy name, and so we can directly get prema, sramanam and kirtanam. That is sankirtan. The goal of kirtan is remembrance of the Lord, to be happy here and go back home after leaving this body. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So I'll stop here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, सभी भक्तजनों की जय. हरे कृष्णा. Oh, it's so quiet, like nobody is. I did not hear any voice.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is Geeta. Thank you so much for such a lovely class and with so much of, I mean, we really learned a lot today. It's so enlightening. And I was wanting to ask you, Prabhuji, like we do japa, right?
Yeah.
So the level of yoga is higher than japa, correct? I mean, when you have dhyana, I mean, unwavering, like they say, I mean, it leads to that. So, but if we are at the level of japa only for the longest time, then it's very difficult to get that yoga, that yoga. I mean, like you said, the water has to be stable for the deer to look into it, right? So for us, by doing japa only we'll reach that level. But japa is relatively easy to manage. I mean, it's manageable, but yoga and that Raj Yoga, whatever, it's very difficult, Prabhuji, isn't it? How do we graduate from japa to that?
Yeah, it's you don't have to graduate from japa to yoga. You're already, japa is also yoga. This is called mantra meditation. Mantra meditation, dhyan. Mantra meditation is japa yoga. So yoga is anything which connects you with the Lord. So we are connecting with the Lord through this mantra. Mantra, the definition of mantra is manas iti traite iti mantra. Manas iti traite iti mantra. So mantra which can deliver the mind, which can purify the mind, that is called mantra. So we are chanting this mantra to control, purify our mind, right? So we don't have to go with any dhyana or Ashtanga yoga or any other yoga process. Our process is bhakti yoga. In bhakti yoga, this is the process. So chant. I'll give you one example. So to clarify the difference what you're saying, right? So Lord Krishna says that I'm Jagannath. So I'm Jagannath, and if Lord Jagannath, and he gives material happiness and sometimes liberation. Like that. So if you go to Jagannath Puri, you pray from the Lord for material happiness. He's very happy and he'll easily give you material happiness. And sometimes, like, no, if you want liberation, he gives liberation also. But he can't give Krishna Prema. He does not give Krishna Prema, right? Krishna Prema is like, comes from chanting the names of the Lord, chanting the holy name. Krishna has incarnated as his holy name. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that, so Mataji, what was the process of self-realization in Satyuga? You might have heard it before, right? Do you know?
I don't know, Prabhuji, too much about Satyug.
Then, yeah. So Satyug mein, this process was dhyan. Krate yat dhyayato Vishnu. Treta Yug Yajite Makai. And Treta Yug means the process for self-realization, for attain the Lord, was Yagna. Dwapare Paricharyayam. And Dwapar mein Archana, worshipping the deities of the Lord. And Kaleo Hari Tad Kirtana. The Kaliyug ka process kya hai? Kaliyug ka Yug Dharma jo hai, Hari Naam. So, the point I was trying to make is different. Like, so we are talking, the Bhakti Vinod Thakur talks about that in previous yuga, all these processes, the dhyan, yagna, and deity worship, they all can purify your mind, or they can give you liberation. They cannot give you Krishna Prema. This is Bhakti Vinod Thakur is writing. So, because you talked about the dhyana, how you graduate from japa to dhyana, so I'm giving this example. The dhyana is not higher than japa. Dhyana is or dhyana yoga, or the jnani is what they follow. The tapa and jnana is not higher than our japa. So that is what Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying, that all these processes in the previous ages of dhyana, yagna, and deity worship, they only can get you up to the liberation maximum. They cannot give you Krishna Prema. For Krishna Prema, and our soul will be completely satisfied only with Krishna Prema, not with liberation also. So Krishna Prema is what we are looking for, like this. And that can only come from Bhakti Yoga, from Japa, following the Bhakti. So this is, and Bhakti, we know the process of Bhakti is like Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. So we should, so Sravanam and Kirtanam is Sankirtan, like loudly chanting the name of the Lord. But we should always remember, what is the goal of the chanting? What is this goal of chanting, like what we are chanting?
It's to purify the mind.
And why we want to purify the mind?
For Krishna Prema.
So if you have pure mind, you can get a Krishna Prema?
No, but then the bhavs also come, right? Madhur bhav, whatever.
So Mataji, the goal of Smaranam is so that we can do nice chanting. And goal of chanting is so that we can do Vishnu Smaranam. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So the goal, whatever we are doing, we should remember what is the goal of it. The goal of Smaranam is doing nice Kirtan, or nice chanting, or good chanting, quality chanting. And the goal of quality chanting is so that we can remember the Lord, our remembrance, we can increase the remembrance of the Lord. That is goal of the chanting. You see in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord, anywhere you see the multiple at so many places in Shastra, Lord says, Antakale cha mamev smaran muktva kalevar. Ante narayana smrati. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. So what he's saying is smaran. Smaran is the most important thing. But smaran comes from quality chanting. So when you chant nicely your rounds, your japa, that increases remembrance of the Lord. So our goal is remembrance of the Lord. Our goal is somehow we chant so nicely, we mold our life in such a way so that we have remembrance of the Lord. So then Ante Narayana Smriti. So that is the goal. So and Lord, chanting, because it increases the remembrance of the Lord, and it says Ante Narayana Smriti, like no, and that purifies your mind. That remembrance of the Lord purifies your mind. So this is that is the goal of chanting. That's the goal of chanting. So this is Bhagavad Vidhi, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. And then all other Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam, they're all Pancharatriki Vidhi. Pancharatriki Vidhi. So this is our Bhagavatam Vidhi, what we follow, Sravanam, Kirtan, Smaranam. So our goal is so that we can increase our remembrance of the Lord. Does that make sense, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. But then to get that bhav, see, when we do this, our ego gets less, and we are able to renunciate and all that, get less desires by doing more japa. But then but you said that yoga is not higher than japa, right?
No, it is not. This is also, which yoga you're talking about? This is also yoga.
Okay, so to get Krishna Prema, I'll rephrase my question. To get Krishna Prema, to move from this, how do we get Krishna Prema? How to get into Madhur Bhav, like the gopis, which is supposed to, it's very far for me, but I still, I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, like the step one is purify our mind. So to chant and smarana. So remember the Lord, like mold your life in such a way that you are able to remember the Lord 24/7. That is our goal. So if we can do that, like once we have purified our mind, then our devotional service will start. Once our mind is purified, then our devotional, right now, our devotional service is not pure. It's not, we are not directly serving the Lord. This is because we are not at that platform, because our mind is contaminated. So when, say, माम चयो अव्यभिचारेण भक्ति योगेन सेवते सा गुणान समतीतैतानि ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते. When you start rendering the pure devotional service, mam chayo avyabhicharena. So when you start serving the Lord, and then you'll come to that stage when your mind is purified, you go beyond the gunas, like this is, and that is the stage when your real devotional service will start. When you come to that stage, then based on your bhava, if your bhava is that you want to serve the Lord in madhurya bhava, that bhava will come. That bhava will manifest, like that bhava will manifest, and that is time when you can serve the Lord in that bhava.
But see, Prabhuji, for gopis, I'm not saying that, but like, I don't have any example besides the gopis who had Madhur Bhav. It was, I think that, to have they had Lord Krishna right in front of them is a physical form also. So, what, so who else has, which are the example apart from the very elevated souls or incarnations have got the Madhur Bhav? Who have not seen the Lord in physical form at the same time.
Not seen the Lord. So this is like the devotees, like, if you see that to some extent, Mirabai, There has been devotees like who have not seen the Lord, but they have, or they, I don't know, they might have seen but at least they might have seen. But there are devotees. Depends on this is we can serve the Lord in any bhava. The point is that what I'm trying to make here is at our stage, this is. It is also sad that this is once you come to that stage when your mind is purified and you become pure devotee, then you have an eternal position in the spiritual world, right? We all were with the Lord at some point of time, and then we came here just because we wanted to enjoy separate from the Lord. So before we came here, we were in the spiritual world with the Lord, and we would have some service that time, right?
Yes,
so we were serving the Lord at that time in whatever service we were doing. That is our original constitutional position, and that will be revealed to us once we are situated in this pure devotional service. So our position, everyone has a different relationship with the Lord. What was my relationship with the Lord when I was with the Lord? That will be revealed to us when we are purified.
Right. So right. Right. Got it. So right now our goal, of course, is to basically purify ourselves, and then see how. But what I'm saying is these examples are far and few that we know have had Madhur Bhav.
Motherji, this is sometimes this is it should not become like a sahajiya thing So we don't know what was my service, how I was serving the Lord, what is my original constitutional role in the spiritual world, right? What service, how was I serving, right? So but if we artificially start considering that ourselves this is unless we come to that stage when our position is revealed to us by the Lord himself so right now our that way Prabhupada said this, instead of we should serve the Lord at our stage till we get purified, we should serve the Lord in Shanta Bhava as a servant and master. He is our master and I'm his servant. We should, that is Prabhupada's instruction to us. That till we are purified, we should not, so that we don't speculate. We may make offenses. I mean, we start trying to serve the Lord in Madhurya Bhav at our stage because we are not purified. We may make offenses, and that may slow our growth in the spiritual.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. All right. And any other questions? Partha Prabhu, would you like to add something to Mataji's question? You're always giving sharing nice thoughts.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, always say, I'm outside. Yeah. So, Mataji's questions are very interesting, basic, and Mataji comes from a different practice, spiritual practice. That is why the Raja Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, so the importance was there. Yes, understood. And Krishna says in the end of chapter 6,
Yoginam Sarvesham,
Yoginam Sarvesham Gatmat Gatinantaratmana Shraddhavan Bhajate. So, of all the yogis, Raja Yogi, Hatha Yogi, Jnana Yogi, Dhyana Yogi, of all the yogis, that yogi who is the Bhakti Yogi is the supremost. So that is Krishna's conclusion in the end of chapter 6. And Arjuna also says it's so difficult. One of the so difficult to do dhyana yoga, because even if you go to the Himalayas, there's so much
Yeah,
utpat, so much
also, right, correct, yeah. And Prabhuji, it also depends on your goal. Like, no, this is Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, with the dhyan, yoga and all, you can get up to the liberation. You cannot get Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema can only be through Bhakti Yoga. So this is, and if our goal is merging with the Brahma Jyoti, then it's all other processes should be fine. But if you want to go and personally serve the Lord, then Bhakti Yoga is the only process to get Krishna Prema.
Yes, and yeah, and also Krishna says that bhakta tu ananna shakka. Vidorjuna gyatum drastum cha tattena pravestum cha. If you want to enter Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's real understand Krishna tattva, then the only way is bhakti. Bhakta tu ananna shakka. Only ananda bhakti is the only way.
Yeah.
Other things will get us to sataguna, maybe mode of goodness, and then you will be thinking we are Brahman. Yes, we are Brahman, but at the same time that we are also part and parcel of Krishna. That realization comes only from bhakti. So that is why unless we come to that level of Ananda Bhakti, we will not be able to understand Krishna. We will understand Brahman, yes. The problem in Brahman is that we go to Brahman and we do not get satisfied, because the heart gets satisfied only with love, and there is no maybe peace there in the Brahma Jyoti, but there is no love. So it comes back because it seeks to love somebody and wants to be loved. That is there in bhakti.
So,
Yes,
so the other day we were talking, Partha Prabhuji, that even Uddhav didn't have prema, right? He was a jnani.
Yeah, he converted to prema later, like he was jnani before. Yeah. That's why Krishna sent him to Vrindavan. So he came back from Vrindavan, he was completely a different person.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Your class was so captivating, Prabhu, and I captured that 4 things that prevent us from chanting with attention is Asat Krishna, Satta Vibram, Vidadadvolan Aparad. Very, very important. I'll try to meditate on them. Thank you for that inputs.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So, all right. So if there are no other questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this wonderful class and excellent class after a long time, and for the wonderful answer of Gita Mataji also. So if nobody has any question or comments, we can end up the call here. Pamsi Vilas Prabhu, do you have any question?
Prabhuji, thank you so much for the wonderful class. Samarachika Mataji for organizing such wonderful speakers every day. Hearing from each of them is so amazing. Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful class today, talking about how the soul is forgetting the true constitutional position. Prabhuji, my question is, like the deer running away from the water right next to the deer covered by grass. As devotees, we are tasting a little bit of that water, but still we have to run around because we have duties in material world. So how can we balance, Prabhuji? Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, this is, if you're doing your sadhana nicely, my Guru Maharaj has always insisted on that. Like, if you do sadhana nicely, your material things will fall in place. Remember this formula. You'll never go wrong. You'll never go wrong. But if you're trying to arrange your material things so that you can do sadhana, it will never happen. This is what the purport of the today's verse also. So just prioritize your sadhana over your other material commitments. And then your material commitment will become so smooth. It will go so nicely. Materially, everything will fall in place. That is my personal experience. And that is my Guru Maharaj has clearly said multiple times. I believe in that, and I have seen it in my experience also. So I would say whatever sadhana you are in, just please give that a priority. Give that a priority. Give that and try to increase the quality, and your material things will fall in place. Thank you,
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's so beautiful. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, we also had experience about what you said. If we prioritize our sadhana, then all material things will follow it. So Maharaj says very true, Prabhuji. And thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So yeah. So let's pay obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Panchakalpatarubhyo kripa sindhu cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnav ki jai, Namacharya Thakur ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Vrindavan Vijay Prabhu ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.